and the foreigners who join themselves to the Lord, to minister to him, to love the name of the Lord, and to be his servants, all who keep the Sabbath and do not profane it, and hold fast my covenant. These I will bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices will be accepted on my altar. For my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. The Gospel according to Matthew. When he entered Jerusalem, the whole city was in turmoil, asking, "Who is this?" The crowds were saying, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee." Then Jesus entered the temple and drove out all who were selling and buying in the temple. And he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. He said to them, "It is written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer,' but you are making it a den of robbers." The blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he cured them. But when the chief priests and the scribes saw the amazing things that he did, and heard the children crying out in the temple, "Hosanna to the Son of David," they became angry and said to him, "Do you hear what these are saying?" Jesus said to them, "Yes. Have you never read? Out of the mouths of infants and nursing babies, you have prepared praise for yourself?" He left them, went out of the city to Bethany, and spent the night there. Unheard of scandal. This young rabbi, who yesterday had the whole city in a patriotic uproar, today stormed into the very temple precinct itself and created chaos. Doves flapping, men shouting, women scrabbling all the rolling coins. This fellow from Galilee once again stirring up trouble. But stirring up is always what happens when Jesus enters the scene. Monday of Holy Week has its parallel in our individual journey of faith. He comes and priorities are overturned, assumptions swept aside. This first thing he did on entering Jerusalem is the first thing he does on entering a life. He goes straight to the temple, to the place where we worship, and cleans out whatever is not part of God's design. The process is called by many names: sanctification, amendment of life, getting right with God, but the meaning is the same. The recognition that with Jesus in charge, many things we used to do, say, want, are no longer okay. It's such a common pattern that we've come to expect it. And then there's the danger in the Monday experience. We think we know what things he wants to get rid of. But the hallmark of that Monday in Jerusalem was surprise. Jesus knew what stood between people in those days and God. Astonished is how Mark describes people's reactions to that original cleansing. And astonished is how we feel when God's house cleaning, not the one we've envisioned, gets underway within us. Prejudice, old hurts, a sense of inferiority, whatever blocks our relationships with him, out it must go. "What are you doing?" we cry when the cleanser strides in. "I'm making myself a temple," he replies.